Everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review, and today we're going to take a look at the new Hot Toys Batman 1/6 scale collectible figure. Now this Batman is based on the 60s Batman TV series starring Adam West, and the figure comes, like with all Hot Toy figures, comes in a standard cardboard box, which you then open, and then you have this pretty cool looking kind of 60s vibe packaging showing Batman's head kind of peeking up over the cityscape of Gotham City. You've got the classic Batman TV series up at the top and the name of the character down below. You've got that cityscape that kind of goes all the way around to the back of the box, and then you have a picture of the bat signal. Then it's a slip case that just kind of slips off over the box. And then you have the inner box revealed. On the back of that you have kind of all the credits of everyone involved with the figure and another picture of the bat signal, and then in the front the figure's clearly displayed. Then you pull that out, and the figure's in a tray. Now, one thing I want to point out about the inner box, inside this basically the tray sits inside this box, which is actually kind of cool because what they've done is they've created kind of a building on the back. It's made to look like a building with a window for Batman to climb up. There's a little hole at the top for Batman's Batarang, and we'll go over this in more detail in just a bit, but I just wanted to point that out, that there's this little extra feature on the packaging so you can kind of set up a diorama for him climbing up the building like you would see in the TV series. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging, and like with most of the Hot Toy 12-inch figures, this one has a lot of detail, a lot of accessories, cloth, real costume, soft goods cape. I think they've done a really good job of capturing the likeness of Adam West with the face sculpt. Now the figure has 3 different facial expressions that you can put on it, and we'll go over that in a bit more detail when we get to all the accessories, but basically you can remove the bottom part of the face and exchange it with 2 other different facial expressions. The costume, again, it's a real costume, soft material, cloth material. You've got a zipper on the back, and the cape is soft goods, and there are these little snaps on the cape if you want to have it more attached to the costume. Now, I'm not a big fan of these snaps. They're very difficult to get snapped in and unsnapped, but really to get snapped in is really hard because they're just little plastic snaps, and they have a tendency to bend when you push too hard on them, and it's just really difficult to get them to snap into place. But there is a number of them on the back of the cape, so that you can, if you can get them snapped in, you can get the cape basically to kind of hang on the body in different poses, which is nice. The cape itself is also removable. It's just a little hook, so you can just unhook it and take the cape off, so that's nice. And just to give you a better look, you can see there's snaps up here on the shoulders, and then snaps here on the back, and then on the inside of the cape you've got 4 snaps, 4 snaps up here at the top shoulders areas, and then 2 for the back. Okay, so articulation on this figure is pretty standard with what we've seen with previous Hot Toy figures. There's nothing really out of the ordinary. The hands and the feet you attach with those little pegs, and it does come with a set of extra, but just like you've seen with previous Hot Toy figures. So you've got good range of movement there at the wrists. The pegs can be a little bit of a pain to get the hands to snap in sometimes, but usually it's pretty easy. Same with the feet. Now, because the boots are actual rubber material that cover the joints, there is some restriction with the joints there, but it has rotation, and you can do it up and down a little bit. And that's pretty much with all the joints, is because they're covered by the costume, there are some restrictions due to the costume. But you can see here he bends his knee pretty good. He bends his elbows really good, and the costume's somewhat loose here in the elbow, so like he can get his hands up to his eyes and stuff for like the Batusi and stuff. So that's good, and he's got pretty good rotation there at the arms as well. Again, some restriction with the costume, but for the most part, you know, he's got good movement there. He can get his arms out. He's got an ab crunch. But again, a little bit restricted by the costume. So overall, you know, pretty basic. You know, if you've got previous Hot Toy figures, then you know what to pretty much expect as far as articulation goes with this one. Utility belt on this is pretty nice looking. It's got a silver metallic belt buckle with bat kind of engraved on it. Now the utility belt is not removable. It is a loose piece on the figure, so you can move it on his waist, but it is not a removable piece. So just don't try and take it off or anything, because it's not meant to be removable, and it actually tells you that in the instruction sheet. And then the pouches on the belt are basically there for looks. You can't open them and put stuff in them or anything. So basically it's not a workable utility belt, but it does look good on the figure. Okay, so let's start going over all the accessories this figure comes with. Now, as I mentioned before, the figure does come with an instruction book, so it tells you how to basically use all the accessories and everything, so that's nice. Now, the figure comes with a stand, like is pretty common with all the Hot Toy figures. It's got the Batman Classic TV series logo on the bottom and Batman's name on it. It's nothing fancy or anything, it's just a basic stand. Then the figure comes with a giant bomb, as seen in the original 60s Batman movie, where he was trying to carry it around, finding a place to dispose of it, and kept running into crowds and stuff. So they've given you that. He comes with a bat radio. It's got, looks like almost like a Joker mouth on it. I don't really remember this specifically, but it looks kind of like a bat, and it's got, like I said, the mouth and like a speaker and two antennas, and it's got a handle that moves. So, and he does hold it pretty nicely in one of his hands. Then he comes with shark repellent, another accessory from the original 60s Batman movie. This is where the shark was attacking him, and he pulls out the shark repellent to get rid of the shark that's like hanging off his leg as he's trying to climb up into a helicopter. Now this has a little removable cap, so that's kind of cool, a cool extra feature. You can have him hold it with the cap on or with it out, and he comes with a hand specifically for essentially kind of spraying the shark repellent. As I mentioned, he comes with two different facial expressions, and we've seen this feature on other figures. And basically it just holds on to a magnet, so you can basically, you just kind of pull the face piece off. You kind of have to, sometimes it's kind of hard to grip, but you just pull it off. Again, it's just held with a magnet, and then you just put the new expression in. So he's got gritting his teeth expression, and then he's got one other which is similar to the first one, only his mouth is open just a little bit. And again, I think all three expressions do a pretty good job of capturing Adam West's likeness on this figure. So another accessory he comes with is a Batarang. It doesn't like fold close or anything. It's just one solid piece, but looks pretty true to what we saw in the series at times. Now it does come off a little big, but it's got a practical use for using with the box diorama, which I'll show you in just a bit. Now it comes with also a string, which is over 3 feet long. and you just kind of tie it, and it's got a little hole on the Batarang, and you just tie it with a little slip knot or something, and so you can have him climbing up walls and stuff with it. And we'll go over that in just a moment. And then finally he comes with 13 different interchangeable hands. So he's got a lot of different hand combinations that you can use. He's got closed-fisted hands, so you can have that punching action. Can't hold anything with these, and he comes with two, a left and a right. He's got hands for holding the bat radio or other items, but I think this is specifically for the bat radio. He's got the Batusi hands. He comes with two of the Batusi hands, so you can mimic the Batusi dance. He's got open hands. He's got two of those, two open hands. He's got a hand specifically for holding the shark repellent, as I mentioned before. So the finger will sit on top of the spray can, so it looks like he's spraying the shark repellent. And then he's got two hands for holding the rope with the Batarang, so you can do simulate the climbing up the wall with the Batarang. The figure stands at just about 12 inches tall, up to his ears. Now, I didn't go into too much detail, but I really like how they've sculpted the mask on this. You've got the black on the front with the eyebrows and the nose drawn on, just like you saw on the TV series, and then you've got the ears sculpted on the side, and they're a softer material, but they're pretty sturdy, so they're not like going to bend out of shape too easily. So I like that. And then you can see his eyes clearly through the mask, which is nice. And here he is next to the Hot Toys Michael Keaton Batman. And then here he is next to the Christopher Reeve Superman figure. And you can see they're all pretty good scale. Finally, I just want to give you a quick look at the diorama box that they provide in the packaging with the figure, and how you can simulate him kind of looking like he's walking up the side of a building with his Batarang and rope. So the back of this cardboard insert is basically cut open with the window flaps to make it look like it's a building window. There's a hole at the top, so you can stick the Batarang in here. And then basically the way they describe it is you lay the box flat down, and then you stand the figure on top of the box, and then you can kind of flip it, like they did, and this is what they actually did in the TV series, is they were actually walking on like a stage that looked like a side of a building, and then they would turn the camera essentially. So that's what you can do with this, and it comes out looking pretty good. They say in the instructions you can put a figure inside the window. Now, I don't think a 12-inch scale figure is going to really fit in the box and look right. A 6-inch figure, as you can see here, I have the Mattel Catwoman figure that I put in the window, and she's a little bit small, but I think a 6-inch figure probably looks better in the window than trying to stick a 12-inch figure in there. But overall, I think it's a nice feature, and when they release Robin, they'll have a second box that you can put, so you can have both figures climbing up the wall like in the TV series, which is cool. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I think this is a great looking figure. If you're a fan of the 60s Batman TV series or Adam West's Batman, then I definitely think you're going to want to pick this one up. I think Hot Toys has done a great job of nailing the likeness of Adam West with this figure, with the face and the body. Again, it's not like a super muscle-toned superhero like we normally see nowadays. He's a very normal-looking guy in a Batman costume, which is basically what we saw in that TV series. A lot of cool accessories. You can recreate the Batusi with this, which is cool. And like I said, if you're a fan of that TV show, I think you'll definitely want to pick this figure up, because I think this is probably the best interpretation of that version of the character in figure form to date. So, as I said, this figure is out. If you want to pick it up, you should check places like online e-tailers like Big Bad Toy Store. And that's my review. I hope you enjoy it. Until next time, I'll check you later.